Welcome to a Text Talk today with P-Main Ministries, and I am your host, Pastor Jesklin Etienne. John 15 verse 19. If you belong to the world would have loved its own. But because you do not belong to the world, on the contrary, I have picked you out of the world, therefore the world hates you. Today our text talk will be addressing our relationship with this world. And Jesus tells us in the book of John chapter 15 verse 19 that we're not of this world, because if we were of this world would have loved us. Because we're not of this world, the world does hate us. And so I remember when I was growing up as a child, I used to hear this song being played and sung over and over and over at my former Baptist church. And so I've been looking for the song over the internet, and I came across this version that sings it exactly how I used to hear it being played. And it is sung by this gentleman by the name of Jim Reeves. And so the song has impacted my life a lot. It has impacted the way I look at the world, my view of this world as being impacted by this song very much. Later on, I came across another version of the song that sounds like this.
This world is not my home. I'm just a stranger. I'm passing through. Ooh, this world is not my home. I'm just a stranger. I'm passing through. Listen, you don't know what I've been through. Woo! As a soldier, what I had to do. Listen, sometime now I was down for my last count. Oh, but His love has lifted me, and I'm so glad, so glad.
And so when we think about this world, we know this is not our home. You know this is not your home. If it were your home, you would not be treated the way you're treated. The level of injustice that we see in this world, the way that people are being treated in this world tells us clearly that it's not our home. And most people's home, they are appreciated. And your own home, you're expected to be treated right. And so if you are being treated the way you're being treated, it's because this place is not your place. And God is giving you an invitation to leave this place and go to a better place. I remember, the children of Israel were in slavery in a place that was not their home. It was in Egypt. They were in Egypt for over 400 plus years. And while they were there, they were mistreated, no access to quality water, quality food, quality education. They had no access to education. They worked as animals and had no wages and things like this. The justice system was not for them. They were living in subpar housing, pretty much living in a slum. And so it was a terrible situation for the children of Israel. And so in the year 1300 BCE, God decided, to take the children of Israel out of Egypt. And so He did take them out of Egypt. But while they were leaving, they went through the wilderness. In the wilderness, I just want you to know that the children of Israel did not build any permanent homes in the wilderness. Okay, they slept in tents. They pitched the tents. They slept, get up in the morning, and then continue to move towards the destination. And so that's what they did for a number of years until they get to their destination. And so today there are about 7 billion people living in this world, including you and myself. So 7 billion of us living in this world. And I know a lot of us are trying to make this place our home and build a future for our children, create a better world for the next generations and things like this. Now, while these things are amazing things to do, I just want you to know, no matter how successful you become in this world, no matter how much influence you have with this world, no matter how much money you make in this world, no matter how much education you acquire in this world, I just want you to know that this world is not your home. It's not a place that you want to live in eternally. It's a place that you're passing through, just like the children of Israel were passing through the wilderness. We are passing through this world. Now, mind you, I don't undermine the efforts to become successful, the efforts to do great things, the efforts to accomplish great things. But if you're going to do any of these things, I want to remind you, do them for the glory of God. Because when you do them for the glory of God, it puts you in a total different mindset. So it does not put you in a mindset to stay here forever, but it puts you in a mindset, I'm doing this for God because God promises to me that He's going to give me a better place. Today you may call yourself, a Haitian or Jamaican or African, or in terms of continents, or Europeans, Middle Eastern. You may call yourself, West Indians, whatever you call yourself, or you call yourself, Canadian or American, whatever nationality you claim to be. I want you to know that God has a better nationality for you. God is a place called the New Jerusalem. In the New Jerusalem, God is going to give you a new citizenship. And He wants you to be with Him. I know a lot of people will say, well, what does that have to do with me? I don't even believe in the existence of God. Or whether you call yourself atheist, agnostic, or you believe in some superpower or a higher power, you believe in some sort of force, I want to remind you that you are a child of God. God is your creator. He created you. God put you on this earth for a reason. Even if you can't find a reason, to be called a child of God. But I just want to remind you, you are a child of God, and God loves you. God loves you honestly, sincerely. God loves you. Because if God didn't love you, He would not have sent Jesus to die on the cross, that you and I may have life and have it more abundantly, and may have access to Him and have a communion with Him. All God wants to have with you is to have a communion with you, have a relationship with you. God is inviting you to come home with Him. I remember I used to hear this group called the Gators, and there's this beautiful singer who sings with them, and by the name of Alicia Williamson. And so they sing this song, "Come on home with me to my Father's house. There is joy, there is joy, there is joy. Would you come with me?" And so God is inviting you to come with Him. Come home. Let's go together. There's nothing really interesting here. God is saying, look, this is hell. You may think that you're having, a great time and going to places and traveling across the world, visiting the most exquisite, places in the world. And you think, what, that's it. No, that's not it. There are greater things and more beautiful things for you to see. And God is telling you, come on home with me. And so if you hear this message, if you are watching this video at this moment, I just want you to know that God really loves you. He cares about you. And He wants you to be with Him forever, to be with Him for eternity. Just compare, the short life we live here to eternity. Who wouldn't like to live for eternity? Today, people are taking pills to live longer. God is saying, hey, listen, you don't have to take any pills. Just accept me as your Father, and then I will give you a life eternal. And I think this is a great offer that no one who is, intelligent enough would turn down. And so I pray and hope that you accept this offer from God, that you accept, to come home with God and to be with Him and to be with Him for eternity. As I said earlier, no matter how beautiful you think your life is, in God's side, this is hell. And for most people, it is real hell for the lifestyle they're living, the condition of their lives. For how they're being treated in this world, for the injustice they are being a victim, or that they have no access to quality education, water, justice and healthcare and things like this. Not they don't have access to good paying jobs and things like this. And so God is saying, hey, look, you may love to have these things, but I have better stuff for you. He said, because you think about it, we're living in hell here. Okay? We cannot afford to live in hell here and then die and resurrect and continue to live in hell again. Just come on home with us. To my Father.